Happy Night Ravers, Proxy here. We are live with another podcast, the Proxy podcast, with special guest VeeNobu. VeeNobu, say what's up to the people, man.
What up, what up? What is going on, man?
Alright, we're going to say this a lot during the podcast. You guys go check out the description. His link is in the description below. Click on that. It takes you directly to his channel. Subscribe to the guy. Leave likes on all of his videos or you will die. You won't die, I'm just joking. So, if you give me 1 second, I'm going to monetize this and hop directly into the chat on YouTube Gaming. We're going to get into some good stuff to talk about. It's going to be really good. And then I'll do roll call. Just give me 1 second, people. You know how the struggle of setting up is. Oh, the setup struggle. It sucks more than a vacuum. Oh, man. Well, while we're waiting on this setup, let the Ravers know how your day's been going, man. How's life treating you and all that other good stuff? Introduce yourself to them. Let them know who you are and stuff like that, man.
Alright, so, for those of you who don't know me, I pretty much go by the online aliases VeeNobu. Pretty much just your average guy trying to make it, pretty much I game, little martial arts here and there.
A little? We're gonna get into that, okay? There's no a little about it. This guy is insane when it comes to martial arts, and we're gonna talk all about that. Don't let him say a little. It's saying I'm live, but I don't see the stream, so hold on 1 second. Be patient, Ravers. I'll be in the chat as soon as it's done. So, let's see. I'm just waiting for it. I have to refresh the page constantly to see that I'm live, and it's such a pain in the neck, I tell you, man.
Technology.
Technology, it can be good and it can be bad. You can't live with it and you can't live without it.
Yeah, most of the time I'm on the crappy end of it. I miss my flip phone.
You miss your flip phone.
Life was so much easier with just a flip phone.
I tell you what, while we're waiting on this to set up, we're going to go ahead and get straight into it because I'm impatient. I don't want to wait anymore. I'm pretty sure you don't want to wait anymore, and the people don't want to wait anymore. They want to go ahead and hear it. So the first thing we're going to talk about Bellator 180, which happened last night. It was the debut of Bellator in New York City, which is pretty awesome. But, bad things happen. It was a disappointment. In the articles that I read, they said it was a disappointment. Everything. We're going to talk about Fedor Emelianenko and Matt Mitrione. Before Bellator 180 came out, I was like, "Who is Matt Mitrione?" Everyone knew who Fedor was. At least I did. And I know you knew who he was, V. So Fedor, he got knocked out, technically knocked out, and I was like. And I got my hopes up because I was hoping he would beat him. I was hoping Fedor would knock Matt out, but he didn't. So what do you think about Fedor getting TKO'd, man?
All right, so the thing about it is, a lot of these casual MMA fans not knowing who Matt Mitrione is going into this fight beforehand, I actually didn't know this fight was actually going to take place, but had I known prior, I probably would have actually gone with Matt Mitrione to win as well, simply because Fedor is just he doesn't have any more. That's just it. Fedor was great back in his time. The prior days, just smashing people left to right. Yeah, still the greatest heavyweight of all time.
Ooh,
I still firmly hold that to truth. But when it comes down to it, Fedor he's out of it. It's just his time's gone. All hail the king, but when your time's up, man. Especially when it comes to fighting, you age, you get slower, that killing instinct diminishes, So it is what it is. Pretty much every fight he takes from this point on is just, pretty much like taking a stroll on the park,
Yeah, and it's like when I heard about Fedor coming back and fighting, I was like, what? Because there have been so many fights I saw Fedor in, and he's been hit so many times. And I remember the last fight that I watched him in, the fight should have been stopped. He should have lost, but the referee didn't because they were in Russia. And of course Fedor won, but Fedor was just like, he was demolished in that fight. But somehow he came out the winner. I'm like, what in the heck is going on here? Oh my!
I actually watched that fight as well, and yeah, I have to agree. Fedor got smashed. Like, he got bodied, straight up bodied in that fight.
Okay, for anyone that doesn't know what body means, go ahead and explain to them what that means, man.
So being a body is essentially the equivalent to pretty much you got smacked up, you got your tail handed to you, you got pretty much crapped on. You getting what I'm saying here?
Oh yeah.
But I have to agree with you. There's no way that Fedor should have won that fight. Like I was rooting for him, but it's like, God, when you take that L, you take that L. Like,
yeah, and it's like whenever people were talking about Brock Lesnar and Fedor fighting, I was like, I don't know about that. That was just my opinion, because at the time Brock was like, Brock was Brock, and Fedor was like getting past his prime. So if they would have put Brock in the cage with Fedor, I don't think good stuff would have happened to Fedor. But you never know. Fedor used to be able to accomplish some crazy stuff. I still remember when Andrei Arlovsky, he was fighting him, and Andre, he jumped up and did something, and just Fedor knocked him right in the air. He punched him in the face, and Andre just fell straight to the ground and got knocked out. I was like, holy crap, that is great. Did you see that or no?
Oh, I've seen that on multiple occasions. It's on a bunch of highlight reels. I guarantee it's on the shirt logo. Like,
yeah.
And that was back when Andrei Arlovsky was an animal. This was back when he was just ripping through guys, man.
And it was.
Some people call it a lucky blow that Fedor landed. Nah, I fully disagree.
That was
Fedor was just that good,
Fedor was a beast. We're gonna go ahead and do a roll call real fast because I just got to monetize the video. I just got into YouTube gaming, so let's do this. Timothy, welcome to the stream. Joshua, welcome. Veronica, welcome. Happy the Cat, welcome. Timothy, welcome. Mex Termo, welcome. Joshua, welcome. Xavier, welcome. Cleo, welcome. Who else do we have? Who else? Tyler, welcome to the stream, buddy. How you doing? Bailey, welcome. All right, you're going to bed. All right, Veronica, take care of yourself. Don't forget to leave a like, and I'll see you next time. All right, Timothy's going to bed too. All right, well, it is late for you young cats out there. You take care. Have good sleep, and I'll see you next time. All right, now we're back to the topic at hand, which is about doing drugs. I'm joking. This is a disclaimer. Don't do drugs. Drugs are bad. Unless it's caffeine. So...
yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Do you have any favorite Fedor moments or not? If you don't, it's perfectly fine,
Yes, this would be the time when he got absolutely pretty much folded in half by a slam. He was slammed by, his name is on the tip of my tongue. Huge, muscular, athletic black guy with blonde hair. Like, I can't think of his name to save my life right now, though.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name either.
Yeah, for some reason, like, rest in peace, he passed away. Great, tremendous fighter. But Fedor, like, you would imagine that he broke his neck during his slam. You know exactly what slam I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I know. Oh, yes.
It's like, and for him to come back, like, quickly recover from that, come back, get the submission, it's like, God, this man, that's what separates champions from contenders right there,
When the thing about it, when he got up, he didn't even look like he was slammed on his neck. I was like, holy crap, this guy just brushed this off like somebody threw a stick at him. I mean, like a toothpick as a stick, and he just said, "Hey, you will think that is all that can hurt me? You are nothing to me, Mr. Broken Neck." And he just got up and destroyed him. It's crazy. I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'm pretty sure that the black guy with the blonde hair, I can't remember his name, but I'm pretty sure he was like, "Holy crap, that didn't work. He's not dead." You know?
I'm talking about, that was probably the best possible thing that could have happened on his end. Like, he got pretty much the picture perfect suplex. Like, he got Fedor airborne.
Yeah.
And still didn't finish him. That's like, gosh.
He had some strength to him, man. A lot of.
That was a monster, man.
Fedor was like, he was a big guy, but he was able to pick Fedor up and like just, oh my god. Wow. But yeah, I mean, in the fight that he had last night with Matt Mitrone, Fedor was a little out of shape, but Fedor's never looked like a sculpted statue like most of the guys look nowadays.
Greek god.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing about it, Fedor didn't have to look like a sculpted Greek god to be able to destroy people. Now, here's what I'm saying. Bellator, I think that most of the people there are juicing. I think most of them are, because you got Chael Sonnen, you got Tito Ortiz, you got most of the, Vanderlei Silva. Those guys, in my opinion, wouldn't be able to fight, the way that they want to without juicing. I don't think Bellator is like notorious for backing up the no juicing rule like UFC is. And I think that's why they came back to fighting, because they had an opportunity to be able to do what they needed to do to be successful. What would they do to be successful? Anything it takes. What do you think about that, man?
All right, so the performance enhancing drug policy thing, I mean, I know UFC is strict about it, and I would imagine that Bellator wants to set the same example and be pretty strict on their policy too. But it's like, you never know with these things,
Yeah.
Like for example, back in Pride, they were encouraged to do performance enhancers. Gosh.
Oh yeah.
And it's like in this day and age, it's frowned upon. But I can kind of see where you're going. That Bellator would be kind of lenient and slide some money on the table.
Yeah. And it's
especially
crazy. Let's say what?
For these older guys, you're right. Like, these guys want to come at these guys want to continue doing what they're doing, because, this is all they know. Once you've been in that game for so long, years of putting years training, putting your body through the ringer, you've accumulated all this knowledge, and now you can't do it because your body's deteriorated. You're old now, You can't function the same. You're not a 20, 30-year-old anymore. You're out of your prime. And, TRT performance answers giving them that chance to, shine again, come back, relive their glory days, or at least attempt to,
Yeah, and it's like the guys that are like the older guys now are the guys that you and I used to watch when we were younger. We would see these guys, and then it's like, now it's like, where are they at? And then we have to wait for Bellator to come around, like, oh, there they are, but wait, they're older. But holy crap, they have syringe holes in their bum hole. We know what they've been doing, Mr. Juice. I mean, but it's cool in a way because we get to see them perform. Not the way they used to when we were younger, but we get to see them inside of a cage, getting the snot beat out of them and beating the snot out of other people. Will they be like they were in their prime? No. Will BJ Penn be like the way he used to be? No. Is BJ Penn always going to be amazing? Yes. BJ Penn is a legend. But man, we're not going to even start on BJ Penn. Let's talk about Chael Sonnen and Vanderlei Silva. Let's go ahead and talk about that. Give me your thoughts on Chael Sonnen. I want to hear exactly what you think about the guy.
All right, so Chael Sonnen was one of those guys who I heard about through the media, not actually watching him fight. This was a name I heard through Anderson Silva, another all-time great.
Oh, yeah.
This was back, I think right after or right before the first fight. Chael was talking a whole bunch of crap, just being Chael Sonnen. You know how Chael Sonnen is.
Oh, yeah.
When his name's in the media, trash talk is going to be labeled, somewhere near his name. And, I think I heard a comment about Anderson's wife making Chael a steak or something like that. Mid-rare, medium rare, or whatever. And after that, I was like, okay, who's this guy? And since then, since his first fight with Anderson, since his second fight, I've been pretty much just hooked to this persona of Chael Sonnen. He's essentially what MMA needs. We need somebody outspoken like that. We need somebody smart, pretty, we need somebody out there.
Someone that's not afraid to cross that line that other people stay behind. That's what Chael Sonnen does. I understand exactly what you're saying. I agree with you 110%, man. Chael Sonnen is the definition of what MMA should be. And that's simply because he can talk a good game and play a good game. That's like playing chess with some old guy and saying, bro, I'm going to destroy all your pieces and take them and stick them up your bum hole, and then you're going to clean up my house after that. I don't know. And then what do? You beat him at chess, and then you make him go and clean your house. Chael Sonnen, he's like, he could back up his stuff. And it's like I was telling you before the podcast. He'll talk trash, and then if he wins, he'll continue talking trash, And then if he loses, he'll talk trash about how he didn't win. Yeah, he might be a sore loser sometimes, but that's just Chael Sonnen. He's a great guy. I love watching him. He's just, he makes MMA he makes it fun to watch, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure you would agree with me too, man.
Oh yeah, Chael Sonnen is one of those guys who would absolutely 100% convince you that he's a Olympic wrestling gold medalist and has never competed in the Olympics before. Like, that's how believable he is. That's how convincing the guy can be.
Exactly, man. He's like, honestly, Chael is like a fighter that I would always want to watch fight. It doesn't matter what happens. When I get older, I'm hoping and praying that Chael comes back like at 70 years old, full of juice, and just like destroys somebody, Because, okay, come on, Chael. You're not, like, fighting unjuiced. That's just my opinion, We already know Tito, he's not fighting unjuiced. That's just because when you get to a certain age, you can't do like you were able to do in your prime. Just like, VeeNobu and myself were just talking about. So, anyway, we're going to go ahead. We're going to talk about you, bud. I want you to just talk about your experience with MMA. We're also going to be talking about video games after this, man. And I didn't talk to you about this before the podcast because I figured, video games are something that you could just like think of off the top of your head, So it's going to be something fun to do and a little challenging for you too. So I hope you're ready for that, man. It's going to be okay.
All right.
Nothing to worry about, bud. So, all right. First of all, I want to hear. First, how long have you been doing jiu-jitsu? Brazilian jiu-jitsu, for those of you who don't know it, it was created in Brazil. That's why it's called Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It's a grappling art with submissions, and every now and then when the ref isn't looking, you can elbow your opponent in the face. It has to be on the eye. No, you cannot elbow your opponent on the face. Disclaimer, if you're going to do jiu-jitsu, don't go in there with the intentions of elbowing people in the face because you will get choked out. Submissions, grappling, all that good stuff. Tell the people about your journey to jiu-jitsu. Tell them just the struggles you've had to overcome. How old were you when you started jiu-jitsu, and how old are you now, man?
You know what, brother?
What's up?
Let's backtrack for just a slight moment.
Okay.
So, don't quote me on this, but I actually think that jiu-jitsu actually originated from Japan. It was adopted by Helio Gracie, who trained, somewhere in that region, brought it back to Brazil, and then that's where it kind of, expanded.
Well, what was the guy's name that had that huge battle with the Gracies back in the day? I think the Kimura lock was created by him, wasn't it? Or was it someone else?
That was actually an Asian man.
Yeah, an Asian man. I think you said it came from Japan. And was that him or was that another Asian?
Who invented the Kimura lock?
Yeah.
No, it was the same guy named after himself.
I can't think of his name. I want to say all Japanese people have the same, like Nakamura or something like that. Nakamura, Kimura, Pora, Tora, Oh, Bailey, you got a new subscriber. Bailey said she subscribed to you. Thank you, Bailey, for subscribing to VeeNobu. You guys do not forget to subscribe to VeeNobu. If you don't feel like going up to that search bar and typing in VeeNobu because you're lazy as crap, go into my description and click on that link. It'll take you directly to his page. At the end of the stream, or he can call it out right now. Go ahead, tell them what your Twitter is. If you have a Twitter, tell them what your Instagram is and all that other good stuff, man. Let them know what's up, bud.
So the thing about Twitter is I actually disbanded my Twitter account. I actually think I deleted it. I stopped getting on Twitter, but you can check me out on Instagram. I actually have 5 accounts on Instagram, believe it or not.
All right, go ahead and tell them your primary Instagram account, man.
All right, so if you want to find me on Instagram, you can just search for VeeNobu, all lowercase, of course, and, just go from there.
All right, that sounds good to me, bud. So let's continue talking about this. So you said it was a Japanese guy that came over to Brazil, and he helped create jiu-jitsu. Is that right? And wasn't it with the Gracies, or no?
I think jiu-jitsu was actually going on in Japan, long before it started in Brazil. And I think what happened was a Brazilian, I don't know if it was Helio. Don't quote me on this. Okay. My knowledge is a bit wonky when it comes to the origin of jiu-jitsu, but I'm pretty sure, I think there was a Brazilian who brought it back to Brazil. And then from there, they expanded upon it, added more techniques, adopted, techniques from Japanese jiu-jitsu, and then formulated Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So that's why you have Japanese jiu-jitsu and you have Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Now, the thing is, what is the difference between Brazilian and Japanese jiu-jitsu? Is there a big difference or no?
In all honesty, I don't see any differences other than the ranking system, which actually might be the same as well.
Okay, so submissions and everything like that is the same?
Yeah, it should be. There hasn't been any different concepts that stir too far away from Brazilian jiu-jitsu. The style that we do. I don't see any noticeable differences. But
that is insane. Well, that's pretty awesome, actually. So, okay, if you guys didn't know, Japanese jiu-jitsu and Brazilian jiu-jitsu is the same. And something that you also didn't know, I just figured this out like 1.5 seconds ago. It's actually called Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So, yeah, we're going to go with that. Brazilian.
We're going to fuse it.
Yeah, we're going to fuse it. We're going to go ahead. We're going to give an earring to Japan and an earring to Brazil. And we're going to let them, Goku and Vegeta it all up. Oh, man.
Shout out to all the anime fans who caught that reference.
Yeah, shout out to the anime fans, indeed. If you guys like anime, that is awesome. That's something else you can look for. VeeNobu, man, he's all about that anime life. So it's epic. He's going to be adding some new videos to his YouTube very soon, so look out for that. I know it's going to be very exciting, very, very awesome stuff. Okay, yeah. Let's go ahead. How old were you when you started jiu-jitsu, man?
I was 17.
17.
If not 17, then I was definitely 16 heading into 17.
All right,
because
man.
I'm pretty sure I started competing at age 17. So between those two ages, for sure. I remember that vividly. All
right, and you're, 22 now, I think?
I'm 21, about to be 22 next month.
Okay, so you've been doing jiu-jitsu for a while. And right now, have you got another stripe on your purple, or are you still with one stripe, or what?
I do not. I'm on one stripe purple right now.
One stripe purple. Now, for those of you who don't know the belt ranking system of jiu-jitsu, you have white belt, blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, and black belt. Now, I'm not sure what's under that because I started, when I was old enough to get a white belt. When you're really young and you start jiu-jitsu, you're not going to start with a white belt. I think you start with a white belt when you are 16. So you're going to have...
Actually, you do start with a white belt.
When you were 16?
Yep, that's right.
Okay. So
no. When you're a kid.
When you're a kid?
Yep.
Okay, because I remember in the kids class, you had the green belts, the yellow belts, the orange belts. I was like, what in the world is all this stuff?
Those are actually, promotions that the kids get.
Okay, so when you were like 3, can you start with a white belt or no?
Yeah.
That is insane. That's
Like,
awesome.
yeah. But of course, they don't just go, blue, purple, brown.
Yeah.
It goes for the kids. It's white, gray. I see. This is why I started to get mixed up, because it's like their belts there's like belts, and then there's belts with like a black stripe around it, and it's like, ugh.
Oh my God.
Oddly
Okay,
enough,
so
I teach kids, and I don't even know the belt structure.
hey, that's okay, man. We're gonna talk about the belt structure of the adults, man. Like the belt structures that you and I have. So
Yeah.
just to keep things simple here. So you are a one stripe purple belt, and that takes a lot, guys. A purple belt is like, that's some crazy stuff right there. VeeNobu has 2 more belts until he's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is amazing. Now, when you first started Jiu-Jitsu, did you ever think you would get a purple belt?
For sure. Yeah.
Really? What? Now,
I knew.
do you remember what you told yourself before you started Jiu-Jitsu, or when you started Jiu-Jitsu? What was the motivational thing that you told yourself? Do you remember or no?
No one's going to get the best of me.
No one's gonna get the best of you. Now, the thing. Oh, I'm sorry. What, man?
No, what'd you say?
Oh, you go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Oh, sweet. What I was going to say is, pretty much, I was pretty much a hothead back then, saying no one's going to get the best of me, meaning, somebody on the streets or whatever,
Yeah.
I was, I got into trouble a lot, not really crime related trouble, but trouble in terms of conflicts with other people, so.
Okay.
Yeah. When I started training, I was like, what, I'm gonna use this to ensure that no one's just gonna, push me around,
So you basically, your intention was for self-defense, which is, all right, if any of you want to learn mixed martial arts, do not go in there with the intention of beating people up. Go in there with the intention that I want to defend myself. Go in there with the intention of, I need to learn something so no one will mess with me, and if someone does, then I will be able to kill them to death. Just disclaimer, don't kill anyone. Do not kill anyone. Killing is bad. That's murder. Defend yourself. Don't kill. But if it happens, it happens. But okay, it's just like in the end of the movie IP Man. I think it was part 1. You saw that little kid come in there and say he wants to train, and then IP Man asked what his name was. He said his name was Bruce Lee. He said he wanted to train so he could beat people up.
Oh, I remember that.
And IP Man told him to come back when he grows up. He was telling him that because he knew that he was immature and young right now, and he wanted him to realize you don't learn that stuff to hurt people. You defend yourself against people that are morons that deserve to be kicked in the face. Now, Did you start Jiu-Jitsu or Muay Thai first? Which one was first, man? Do you remember?
Jiu-Jitsu, for sure. Yep, I remember my first time actually stepping on the mat was Jiu-Jitsu. I put my gi on, went right out there. My first technique I drilled, they were drilling arm bars, and that was the first thing I started working.
Now,
just jumped right into it.
Now, arm bars are, for those of you who don't know, an arm bar is something that you're going to learn as a basic move in Jiu-Jitsu. And the good thing about the arm bar is that you're never going to forget it, because it's a basic thing that you're going to work all the time. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if there's no class and you just go in there and you get to do a free roll and you have open mat. You're going to do arm bars regardless, which is a good thing. Arm bars are something you should not know. And always remember to wear a cut when you do an arm bar so you can break the other person's arm easier.
Exactly why cups are banned at certain tournaments.
Yeah, tournaments are crazy about that. No cups. We don't want you doing that and having an advantage. Anyway, so, okay, Jiu-Jitsu was first before Muay Thai. You're a one-stripe purple belt now. What belt were you when you had your first Jiu-Jitsu tournament?
I was a white belt.
You were a white belt. How long were you training before you actually stepped onto a mat with people watching you at a tournament? And what was the first tournament you ever did?
I think it was like what, 4 to 6 months or something.
Wow!
Before I stepped on the mat in competition.
That is insane. 4 to 6 months, man. How nervous?
I'm sorry. What was the second part of the question?
Well, I mean, let's see. Well, I was asking what your belt color was, and I forgot the second part, but I'll make up a second part now. How did you feel? How did you feel in that first tournament, man?
Oh man, like I was about to vomit.
You had an adrenaline rush like crazy, didn't you?
Oh, what? Man, me and my first opponent, who's an awesome friend now, actually still talk about that experience because oddly enough, I was his first opponent as well.
That is great. And what was his name?
Lathan.
Okay, I remember you always talk about that guy. One day I'll be able to meet him, man. But anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Was that his first tournament as well, or no?
Yep.
Man, so now how many stripes did you have on your white belt when you had that tournament? Do you remember?
I was probably at least one or no stripes actually.
Okay, because I remember you said 4 to 6 months, so it's like I know maybe every 3 months as a white belt it's a stripe. I want to say, if you're consistent with the training. If you're not, and you're like me, you're not going to be able to get stripes fast, you know. But if you go to training every day and you progress fast, you're going to get stripes like crazy. Now, how long did it take BJ Penn to get a black belt? It wasn't long at all, was it?
If I'm not mistaken, it was like under 3 years or some abstract number like that.
3 years. That is insane to be able to get a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
Oh, yeah.
He is oh my God. We're not going to get into that because BJ Penn is amazing. Anyways, did you win or lose your first tournament? If you won, how did you feel? If you lost, how did you feel?
I lost. My first match was in gi.
Okay.
I lost. It was single elimination, so it was like out of that bracket, and I moved immediately on to no gi.
How'd you do in that?
All right, so this was how I adopted the name DQ.
Okay.
All right, so for those of you who don't know, Q is the name I go by mainly around here. Yeah, my training partners were referring to me as Q, but after my first tournament, they start referring to me as DQ, and I'll explain that in just a bit. All right, so my first opponent in Nogi was actually my training partner. Trained at the same exact academy. We trained together every day, and that was my first opponent in Nogi. So we shake hands. You know, he shoots in for a takedown. I lock in my guillotine, and one thing led to another. He goes unconscious in under 20 seconds. So
you choke him out unconscious.
Yeah.
Now, after you choked him out unconscious, did you mock him and say, "Ha ha, you're asleep" and stuff like that?
No, I just got in his face and did the 5-knuckle shuffle. You know.
Really? Okay, John Cena is in the house. That's what's up.
Oh yeah, dun 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 dun. No, but
there's a copyright notice.
Oh, there it is. I backed away. You know, I was stunned. I put my hands up like I wasn't the one who did it or something. I back away and pretty much my heart's like drops. I'm like, oh my God. My buddy, my friend, no, come back. And he wakes up not knowing what happened.
It's okay because we all know you did it on purpose, man.
Oh, you know, I'm innocent to prove guilty.
Okay, you guys, don't forget to subscribe and subscribe to VeeNobu as well. If you're enjoying this podcast, leave a like. Go in my description, click on the link. It takes you directly to his page. Leave him some likes. Subscribe to his page. Show him some love. He's trying to get on this YouTube game. He's going to upload some videos very soon. It's going to be some really, really, really good stuff. Right now, we're talking about how he purposely he purposely choked out one of his training partners when he first started jiu-jitsu. One of his really good friends. That lets you know that VeeNobu hates his friends. No. No. Okay, so what? How did you use the rear naked choke on him, or what'd you use?
So he shot in for a takedown. It was an ugly takedown. He shot in head first, and it was in perfect placement for me to wrap my arms around his neck for my guillotine. And during that time, I loved the guillotine. I had been working at, weeks leading up to the tournament, and I locked it in. Established my grip, and that was it. He tried to fight out of it, and then next thing you know, he went to sleep.
Nice. Now, for the people that don't know what a guillotine is, go ahead and explain to them what that is. It's very effective and it's an amazing choke, but let them know what it is, man. Elaborate for them.
All right, so I'm going to make this easier because it's one of those things where people naturally do in a fight. It's like when someone wraps their arms around your waist and you put them in this headlock type position. It's one of those natural things that humans tend to go to. But if you actually know what you're doing, you can cinch your arm in around the neck and just, slightly shift your forearm against their Adam's apple. Clasp your hands together and just pretty much shrug your shoulders, and that's a choke right there.
Exactly.
Even for untrained people who just lock this up by default, with no technique whatsoever, you can still choke somebody,
Exactly. And the thing about the guillotine choke, which is really awesome, you do not have to use your biceps at all. If you hold your arm stiff, all you have to do, straighten your back up and move back a little bit.
Yeah.
Just take your hips and move them down. That's all you need. The guillotine is an amazing choke. How did you feel at the end of that tournament and after your supposed quote best friend that you choked out woke up?
All right. So after that, he woke up. We shook hands. He didn't know what happened. So it was kind of like bittersweet, but it felt great. But I know I had to move right on to the next one. My next opponent was a stocky wrestler type guy, pretty amped up. He was pretty agile for somebody, so big. You know what?
Yeah.
Aside from that, I'll sidetrack right quick. You can actually check out my first 3 no-gi grappling matches on my YouTube channel, to be honest. But
hold on, definitely check that out. Click on the link, go to his page. You can check out his matches, and you can see what he's all about, what he used to be about. He's he's purple now. That's back when he was a white belt. So check him out in his jiu-jitsu matches. Now, continue saying what you were saying, bud.
Yeah, and, he locks up on double unders, and double unders, for the people who don't know, is when someone locks their hands around you, with your arms on the outside. So, say that I were to put my arms around you for a bear hug, kind of like that. He lifts me up slightly, throws me onto the mat. I'm like, crap. So we play from guard for I don't know how long it was, pretty much the majority of the match. Needless to say, I shoot up my legs for a triangle attempt. And for the people who don't know, the people who don't train jiu-jitsu, a triangle is essentially a choke. It's a choke from the person on bottom, believe it or not. I can't really explain it too well, but I'm pretty sure you've seen this move in movies and think to yourself, man, this guy's choking with your legs. Just think of that. Movies like John Wick and all that, uses a lot of jiu-jitsu stuff in this movie, so I'm rambling.
Yeah, it's called a triangle because your legs are in the shape of a triangle when you have their arm and their head in between your legs, and you're stopping their breathing with your triangle-shaped legs, which is really awesome. Now continue, man.
Yeah. So I lock it up, and he picks me up, he slams me, he gets dequalified. I mean, dequalified.
Yeah, disqualified.
Dequalified.
Dequalified.
He got dequalified. and then that was it. Ref stopped it. Third match, strong 19-year-old wrestler kid, he looks like he was straight out of high school. He had his wrestling coach and stuff. I'm like, oh man. And we have this epic stand-up war, and it was so crazy because I could have sworn he was a stronger guy, and turns out, no, I actually felt like the stronger man. It feels like we were evenly matched. It was probably one of the most exciting matches I've had in jiu-jitsu.
Man.
And it came down to the last wire. I think it was the last minute. He tried to pull guard. Pulling guard, for those of you who don't know, it's essentially when you jump up, you attempt to wrap your legs around your opponent's waist. And that's essentially what's called guard in jiu-jitsu, when your legs are around your opponent's waist and they are in essentially your guard.
Exactly.
Which is a good position in jiu-jitsu. He tried to pull guard, and he brings the top of my head down onto his face and breaks his nose. I look up, and I could see his bones inside of his nose. And it's like, God. And then he starts just flailing his arms. His blood's rushing to his eyes. I'm just looking at him like, oh my gosh.
Man.
And then I win first place. And it's like, I mean, all right.
So in that tournament, you knocked someone out unconscious and you broke someone's nose on purpose. No. Oh, no, I'm joking. It was all by accident, honestly. You know, it's
all of it, I swear.
That, in my opinion, is like, it has to be the craziest first tournament I have ever heard of, you know. For that to happen in the first tournament, I'm like, what in the crap, man? How many tournaments have you had?
Ooh, no. There's absolutely no way I can know that.
Okay, so
that many.
That happens to be a lot. So let's compare your first tournament to your last tournament. Tell me from the point of view of your last tournament, because in your last tournament you competed under the purple belt division, and
Yep. I competed in absolute, no-gi advanced, and gi purple belt.
And if I'm mistaken, correct me, but I think absolute is where it's like you go against any belt. It doesn't matter what it is. So, you know, you being purple, you can go against a brown belt, a black belt. Q actually beat a brown belt, which is a belt above him. Tell him about that, man.
All right, so in my last competition, let's see, I placed second in absolute, second in no-gi advanced, and okay, no. Hold on, okay. What was it? It was advanced, second, and then second in gi. Okay, yeah, that's right. All right, so I played second in gi, second in advanced, no gi, second in absolute. The purple belt I went against pretty strong guy. I made it to the finals. You know, absolute. You know, went against this brown belt. Pretty big athletic guy. It went down to points. You know, we had a hard contested match. Faced him again in advanced no-gi, because in advanced no-gi, for those of you who don't know, it's essentially any belt as well. Like, just like just like absolute. In advanced, it's the same thing. You can face any belt.
Yeah.
Now, the only difference is it's weight. See, and you can face any belt, any weight division in absolute, whereas advanced, you have a specific weight, you know?
Exactly. I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second, but Bailey said, how many belts are there and what do the colors mean? So, let's see, the children have different belts, but we're going to go ahead and talk about the adults right now. With the adults, you have white, blue, purple, brown, and black. That's 5 belts right there. The meaning of them is just basically how long you've been there, what kind of techniques you've learned, the experience you have, and so on and so forth like that, you know. If you see a black belt, you know that you should avoid trying to start conversation with even a blue belt. I'm telling you, if any of you have never trained, even if you see a one-stripe white belt, you know, because they might know 1 or 2 moves, but hey, that's 1 or 2 moves more than you know. And that's all the belt system is. The belt system is, it signifies what you know, and it signifies how freaking dangerous you are. Now continue talking about what you were talking about, V.
I'll add to that. The belts also mean your pretty much your knowledge, and if you can or cannot have your own jiu-jitsu academy. Like, say for example, me being a purple belt, I can actually have my own jiu-jitsu academy, but I cannot promote someone to purple belt, considering I'm just purple belt. The most I can promote them is to a blue belt, because I don't have the rank to, I don't qualify to rank them any higher than that. Now you get the brown belt, then you can promote somebody to purple belt. You get the black belt, then you could promote somebody to brown belt. You, being a black belt, you still cannot promote somebody to black belt either until you get like a few stripes, and which is years, onto your black belt yourself.
Exactly.
So the belts also stand for what you can and cannot do when it comes to belt promotion, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like with the different belts, the stripes that you get might take different times. Like, our jiu-jitsu instructor, Frank, said that he gets a stripe on his black belt every 3 years. His first stripe is coming up. He's a black belt, and it just takes so long most of the time. I think that maybe the white belt is the belt that you get stripes on the fastest. I don't know. I might be wrong, though. I don't know.
I can agree with that. Like you said, you made a good point earlier when you were like, being consistent with your training is going to allow you to, quickly progress in jiu-jitsu. Depending on your assessment of, your instructor's assessment of your skill, your knowledge of what you're doing, does it look like you're doing jiu-jitsu? Can you demonstrate jiu-jitsu on the mat? Does it, just look like you're scrambling, or does it look like you actually have a full, solid understanding of the fundamentals of what you're doing?
Exactly. Are you jumping around?
That's why.
Are you jumping around like a monkey in Spider-Man, like me, or are you? It's like, I mean, when I'm on the mat, I like to jump around and get myself, kind of like fatigued and worked out, because it just feels good, And I literally, I look like Spider-Man when I'm on that mat.
Well, like Venom,
Venom, okay, But we got Unhinged in here. Unhinged is the first moderator I ever had. Welcome to the chat, Unhinged. And Bailey has another question. What got you guys into whatever and however you spelled what got us into jiu-jitsu? Was it just for self-defense, or is there a short story behind it? What got you into jiu-jitsu, V?
Ooh, I'm going to let you answer that one first.
You want me to answer why I got into jiu-jitsu?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, I was actually doing Muay Thai before jiu-jitsu, and I remember I was sitting there after Thai class, and the jiu-jitsu instructor at the time, he wasn't my instructor because I wasn't doing jiu-jitsu. He walked up to me and said, "So when are you going to start doing jiu-jitsu?" I was like, "I don't know, man." He said, "You should come by." So this was like, let's see, I started jiu-jitsu April of last year. I started Muay Thai at this school January of last year. So about 3 months after I started Muay Thai at the school, and I said, you know what, life is too short not to try new stuff, and I decided to actually try jiu-jitsu out. I was like, okay, I'll try this. I'm going to tell you my point of view at the time. I'll try this crap out. Oh, screw this stuff. I don't want to do this crap. Right when I get that gi on, it smelled terrible. I was like, oh my God, this thing is just funky. I remember the smell of it. It's like, it's been over a year ago, but I still remember that dreadful smell. But I got on that mat, and I started doing it, and I was like, after the class, I knew I was hooked then. I knew that this was something that I wanted to stay with, and I knew that I was going to enjoy this a lot. It's been over a year, and I still love jiu-jitsu. I may not be able to make it all the time like I want to, but jiu-jitsu will always be a passion that if anybody says anything bad about it, they should automatically get kicked in the face. Simply because I underestimated the fact that I was going to be able to have fun with jiu-jitsu before I started jiu-jitsu. I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. This is just like, my first thought, this is gay. I don't want to roll around with people. But when I put that gi on and I started quote unquote rolling around with people, I was like, this isn't just rolling around with people. This is strategic planning. This is great stuff. Oh my god, I just got choked out. That's fantastic. Let's try that again and let me see how I can prevent being choked out again. Jiu-jitsu is something that everybody needs to do. It doesn't matter if you're 1 or 100, you need, well, if you're 1, you can't comprehend jiu-jitsu. You know, you need to do jiu-jitsu. That's just my opinion. It's really, really good stuff, and that's what got me into jiu-jitsu, you know? So, VeeNobu, I believe it's your turn now, man. Let the people know what's up.
All right, so I actually, this falls into what I was saying earlier about how I got into a lot of trouble. So I want to say maybe 2 weeks prior to me actually going to my first jiu-jitsu class session, I was ambushed. I say ambushed like it was, just a big group of people, but it was actually one guy. He attacked me while I was over my grandmother's house.
Wow.
And it wasn't a sneak attack. He approached me. I had already had troubles with this guy at school. He approached me. He wraps a cloth around his fist, and I was like, oh man, like he was already like standing less than 3 feet away from me. So I was like, oh man, I had already like prior woken up from a nap. I was groggy. I was like, gosh, man. So needless to say, he takes a swing. My reactions and reflexes kick in because, prior to this, I got into a lot of street fights. I know when something's about to go down,
Oh, yeah.
So he swings. My instinct tells me to grab him. I tried to go for a broken double leg. Man, I wish I was on grappling back then. I tried to get him down to the ground because for some reason, even before I started jiu-jitsu, just grappling just felt, natural to me. It just felt good, rather than striking for some reason. If I control you through, grabbing you, trying to handle you, I don't know, it just felt a lot better rather than punching you for some reason. But I tried to scramble him. I stayed connected to him. He's still, punching, flailing his arms, hitting me in the ear and stuff. I'm still maintaining a hold on him, and then shortly after, we disengage. He goes about his way, that was that. But afterward, my grandma signed me up, and that was all she wrote.
Well, first of all, I want to say thank you to your grandmother because without you in training, class would not be what it is. You're an amazing jiu-jitsu artist and just, your game. If any of you ever get to train with VeeNobu in jiu-jitsu, it's not going to be something you're going to regret. I tell you, it's going to be freaking amazing. This guy will talk you through anything. He's going to help you understand everything to the best of his abilities. And, with that being said, you're going to understand everything. Trust me, he's going to believe in you too. Now, my next question. How many times have you used cocaine? I'm joking. We're not going to get into that.
Put me on the spot there.
Now,
Proxy.
Disclaimer, do not use cocaine. That was a joke. Don't take me serious, okay? Oh, man, let's see. Let's go ahead. Bailey said, thanks, Granny VeeNobu.
Hey. I'll be sure to relay the message.
Oh, yeah. Bailey said, you got jumped. My brother got jumped in, let's see. But they got blindsided at school, and so he had to quit. Let's see. All right, so I'm trying to see if there's anything else about jiu-jitsu, man. Okay, so I guess we're going to go ahead and talk about Muay Thai.
Muay Thai.
Muay Thai. That's a completely different ball game, from jiu-jitsu. Explain to the viewers what Muay Thai is if they don't know, man.
All right, so the thing about Muay Thai is it separates itself from standard kickboxing through a use of elbows and knees, and also the clinch, what we call the clinch position. You see, kickboxing and Muay Thai have just significant differences that the common public don't actually get to see. you see two people, in the ring duking it out. You think, you can either call that Muay Thai or kickboxing, when in actuality there's just so many various differences between the two. Like, for example, I've done kickboxing and I've done Muay Thai. Back when I first joined my academy, Millersville Academy of Mixed Martial Arts, I actually started kickboxing alongside jiu-jitsu. So during that course, I got to see what kickboxing was, and later on down the line, when we adopted a new kickboxing instructor, which I thought, was just going to be a standard kickboxing instructor before, I actually got to go to one of his training sessions. It was, in fact, Muay Thai. So, and I saw that Muay Thai is more about pretty much in your face. It's more grittier. You're using your elbows a lot more. You're using your knees. In kickboxing, we were not really using our elbows much. We were not focusing on knees. But Muay Thai is so much more than just, what people see, and that is the elbows and knees that I do mention. It's more about, I guess, I won't say control. It's more controlling than your standard kickboxing. I can't really explain it in vivid detail. I'd love to, demonstrate this on more of a visual level. So, stay tuned. I'll probably explain that a bit more on my channel personally with a physical demonstration.
Exactly, and you guys, like, he does a lot of videos of himself at the gym, so just check it out. You never know when there's going to be a video of him explaining how to do a head kick, how to do a spinning back kick, how to do a leg kick. He may even start doing tutorial videos for you. And the thing about VeeNobu is that he listens to what the opinions of the subscribers and viewers want. So if there's something you guys see and he reads it and it intrigues him, he's more than likely going to do it for you, just so you can see how it's done, which is going to be awesome. Make sure you go over to his channel, subscribe to him, go in my description, click on his link, so on and so forth, all that good stuff. Show him some love. He's got 50 subs now. We're going to try to get him up to 100 subs. That would be great.
Oh, my God.
Hey, it can happen. You never know, man. You never know.
Oh, no, it will happen.
Oh, yeah. As long as you keep pushing, man. So, how long have you been doing Muay Thai? How old were you when you started Muay Thai? Do you remember that?
I'm going to go ahead and list that in the kickboxing department. So, same time as jiu-jitsu, same amount of time.
Okay, all right.
Because,
sorry,
the thing about it is, kickboxing, there was no, time lapse between, not going into kickboxing, and then it went into Muay Thai. It was, all right, we had kickboxing, we lost our kickboxing instructor, we still did kickboxing, we still trained kickboxing, and then we adopted a Muay Thai instructor, and then just transitioned into Muay Thai. So, I never stopped,
And this is my opinion, Muay Thai is better than kickboxing. There's more involved in Muay Thai, and Muay Thai is just, that's something that stays in your blood for the rest of your life. Kickboxing is kickboxing. If you like kickboxing or love kickboxing, I'm not saying anything bad about you. I'm not saying, well, you suck for liking that. No, that's just what you like,
Yeah.
But in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure in your opinion too, V, Muay Thai is just better than kickboxing,
You'll never probably see me using the term better to describe two different styles, but I will say I know exactly where you're getting at when you say it's better, because I'll agree with that as well. It's better in the aspect that Muay Thai will better prepare you for an actual physical altercation rather than kickboxing. I feel like the techniques that we have in Muay Thai are far more suited than your techniques in kickboxing. I just feel like Muay Thai is just more of a realistic approach to real scenarios,
Exactly. Bailey asked, she said, what would you use if you got attacked by a few guys, Proxy? I would use a technique called pull the gun out and shoot them in the face. All right, now back to what you were saying, VeeNobu.
This is why you you see in actual competition where the Muay Thai striker will, outstrike, outwork, outperform the kickboxer. I don't know. It's just something about the skill set of the Muay Thai striker, the conditioning, the will, the training regimen of the Muay Thai striker versus the kickboxer. This is a debate that's been going on for a while, actually, over the years, and I feel like the kickboxer has it. The Muay Thai, the Muay Thai striker has it. He is the more complete style of striker, and I feel like that is much largely attributed to leg kicks. Leg kicks, for those of you who don't know, is when you slam your shin against someone's, I want to say, upper thigh region.
Yeah.
Or it can either be on the outside of the thigh or it can be on the inside of the thigh. Regardless, it hurts.
Oh, yeah, and on the outside of that thigh, there's a special spot. If you kick that, it's going to deaden their leg, and it's going to hurt them to walk on it.
Yes,
And
for weeks. You cannot take, but I want to say less than 10 of those leg kicks before you start limping. It's just one of those things where, I'm sorry, like, it hurts, like, and I feel like kickboxers, the great strikers, like, don't get me wrong, I love all styles, but, kickboxers they strike differently,
Oh, yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. It comes down to the individual and how they train their body, how they train their style to work in a real life scenario, So that's not to take anything away from kickboxing. That's just what I know. I can only speak from what I train,
from what you speak, from what you train is like a lot. Simply because you have a lot of experience, you've been doing this for a while, you've actually had a fight in a cage. Now that's what I'm about to get to next, man. You mix up the jiu-jitsu with the Muay Thai. That's a form of mixed martial arts. That leads you to be able to jump into a cage and fight someone in a mixed martial arts match. You actually had one of these fights not long ago. Go ahead and tell the viewers the experience that you had with that, what you did to prepare for that, and what you felt after. Just let them know, what mindset it put you in after it was over and the mindset you were in before. How'd you prepare and stuff, man?
All right. So I'm going to be up front. Training camp for my first amateur MMA bout was probably one of the absolute hardest experiences of my entire life. I kid you not, people. And you see, training to be a fighter, to be a mixed martial artist, is one of the most taxing things you can do mentally and psychologically.
Tell them
it is. You see, gosh, the preparation that goes into these things just lies on a deeper level than just working technique, conditioning your body. You have to want this. And that's why I always ask people when they tell me, "Hey, I'm gonna be a fighter. I'm gonna step in the cage." Do you actually want to walk that road? This is a career. This you cannot just make this a hobby.
Exactly.
There is so much you need to know, but aside from that, I'll get into that later. My personal experience, it was, I had probably the best training regimen. Like, in terms of, my conditioning for the fight, my diet, I was actually a vegan. I was vegan prior to my first fight. Believe it or not.
For those of you who don't know what a vegan is somebody that doesn't eat meat, at least I think. Basically, they are the evil that is, that surrounds us all. They're an evil force. No, I'm joking. I'm going to stop bashing you, man, about that.
So essentially what a vegan is a person who does not consume any animal products. That means nothing, no cheese, no milk, no dairy, no eggs, no nothing. Everything you consume must be be plant-based, man.
So that means that, vegans are essentially afraid of life. I'm joking, but I'm joking. Now, continue saying what you were saying about your training regimen and stuff like that, man.
All right. So, for one thing, being a vegan actually was a huge part of it, because you see, I can eat as much as I want being plant-based, and I would not gain weight. I was probably eating, upwards of, 4,000, 5,000 calories a night. I was eating a crap ton and still just not gaining weight. You can maintain your weight so easily being a healthy vegan. Like, let me scratch that. Before people get the wrong idea that I was eating crappy. Oh no, I was still healthy. Bunch of vegetables, bunch of potatoes. Had my starches, rice, beans, blah blah blah. But aside from that, it probably was one of the worst mistakes I've ever made in my life as well. See, I'm someone who has studied quite a bit on the body, fitness, health, micronutrients, all of that stuff. I wanted essentially to be in the best shape for this fight, so I felt like a vegan diet would benefit me the most, in which it actually didn't. My body went through a few changes where I was vegan. For one thing, I had this innate desire to constantly be in light, and that was, essentially due to the fact that I was probably vitamin D deficient. And for those of you who aren't really, too well versed in these vitamins and whatnot, vitamin D, you obtain vitamin D from the sun. You can obtain it from some of the foods you eat, but your primary source of vitamin D comes from the sun. So that was one thing I quickly noticed. I always need to be outside. I took down all my blinds. I needed sunlight. Another thing was I lost my muscle tone. I was not flabby, but I lost a considerate amount of strength, muscle tone. My recovery was a lot slower. I thought this was due to the amount of taxing physical stress my body was under every day from the actual fight camp, and it turns out that was all due to the vegan diet. Now, being somebody who is so strong-willed, I still got up every day around 5:30. I trained with my very, very, very close friend, best friend, Moon Cosman, who is right now currently sitting at 3-0 record, and he is an amateur MMA champion. We had our fights scheduled on the same exact night, so we went through training camp together. So we motivate off of each other. Our energy, we were inspiring each other to push harder. And it was rough. The training camp, it was not the same though, because Kurt, my current Muay Thai instructor, and who was my MMA coach during the time, he kept it strict. He kept it spontaneous as well. There was never a time when we did the same thing when we came in. Like, we had something. He assigned us, both Amun and me, a set of things that he wanted to do for us to do every day. But when it came time for his specific training session, we never knew what we were getting into. And that definitely helped a lot, because it was like I didn't know what I was getting myself into every day when I woke up. It was like, always a different new experience. And along the line during my training camp, I got to actually work with Cole Miller. And for those of you who don't know, Cole Miller is an ex-UFC fighter. He was actually at that level. Amazing grappler, great fighter. He left UFC on a sour note, but that was all due because of the unfair treatment that UFC gave to him. But still, nonetheless, he really helped me out there in my fight camp as well. Showed me a few things here and there, pretty useful. As the fight gets closer and closer, mentally, I'm more and more motivated every day. Never was there a time when I was like, I can't do it, I gotta give up. Nope, because I still went for those excruciating training sessions, those intense sprints, those 90-minute runs and that's on a rest day right there. I was still motivated. You know, I would wake up every day, do my little morning routine session, which consists of a run, a little stretching, watch the anime afterward. You know, probably listen to some Dragon Ball Z soundtrack music before training, you know, just to get pumped up, you know. You know, it was great. And then we get to fight weekend. God, the weight cut. God, to anyone who's never cut weight before, it's God awful. Cutting weight is essentially you just starving yourself, like in terms of food and water. See, we have, for those of you who don't know, who don't really watch fighting or, you know, any sports that need your weight to be in order for you to compete. You have to be a certain weight, and a lot of fighters do what we call weight cutting. Weight cutting is essentially where you are only down to a certain weight for a temporary amount of time, and that being like a day, because you step on that scale the day before your big fight or a match, you know, wrestling, grappling match or whatever, and the next day you're like 20 pounds heavier, and that's because you cut the weight. You didn't lose the weight. That's just your body dropped fluid and or a bit of, you know, just a little bit of fat prior to that event, and that's due to you starving yourself and decreasing your water intake. And so I get to the fight. I'm 1 pound under the desired weight. I fought at 155. I was 154, so I had a good weight cut. I was feeling good, you know, feeling motivated. We get to the fight day. I'm still feeling good, getting the nerves. I'm like one dressing room away from my opponent. We didn't say a word to each other, but of course we noticed each other. Of course we noticed each other. We had to have noticed each other. Our hearts racing. Pretty sure this was not his first fight though. I'm nervous in the dressing room. Moon goes out and fights. He wins. He gets an armbar in the second round. Very good performance by him. And his other two fights after that were great too, but that's another story. We get to my fight, so my music comes on, and the song, I can't remember the song. It was one of those things where I picked at the last second. Like I was on the way to Florida, driving to Florida the day before, looking for entrance music. You know, there should have been some, thought about or solved the day, like weeks before. It's like one of those things you just don't think about. Like, crap, I gotta have I gotta have walkout music. It's like whatever. But it was only instrumental though, no lyrics, whatever. So, I came out. I did two laps around the cage and got the audience pumped, and then walk up to my opponent, referee. He said something. I had tunnel vision. I was just looking my opponent in the eye. We touched gloves, back away, feeling good. I still remember the words that Frank, my not Muay Thai, excuse me, Jiu-Jitsu mentor said to me, this is your time. I still remember those powerful words. Probably one of the most powerful words I had heard and probably ever. He didn't even say it in a special way. It was just the fact that he said it, and it was like the perfect timing, especially for how I was feeling.
Yes.
So I had a hard fought battle, and he etched out a majority decision. And it's one of those things where the feeling you get after a fight is not the fact that you won or lost. I feel like the fight took place within myself within the weeks leading up to the actual fight. You see, when I fought, and though I did not get the victory, it was, I don't know, it was one of the best feelings of being surrounded by people, watching you do what you love inside of that cage. The lights on. I'm still raising my hands. I'm acknowledging my opponent's skills, and it's like, wow, I made it. I did it. I put in the work. I fought to my heart's content. God, the feeling is unbelievable. This isn't one of those things where I can just say you can go out and replicate, by skydiving or something like that. I don't know, but I know what I felt. I wish I could describe in good detail exactly what I felt, but it was probably one of the best feelings of my entire life. I was happier after the fight than I was prior to in preparation for the fight.
And I think that's because, you have no more stress after that fight. The stress it's like you were saying, it's leading up to the fight and right when you step in there to fight, and it's just game time after that. But after that fight, you're like, man, that hard work is over. I did what I had to do. Now it's time to eat,
Hey, oh my gosh. And eat, I did.
Man, so, and guys, gals, ravers, I'm not going to be sexist here because I know that, just like we were talking about on the podcast the other night, why didn't you say gals if I say guys, But yeah, anyways, what were we talking about? We were talking about something in the podcast the other night. We talked about so much stuff, man. Anyways, I don't remember, but I'll probably remember some other time. I don't know. But more than likely, VeeNobu is going to have another fight in the future. He's not done. I don't care if he tells you he's done. I don't care if he tells me he's done. He's not. He's going to step into another cage, and he's going to have another fight. I know that for a fact. He might say no, he's not, but yes, he's going to. Trust me. It's going to happen. He might say he's done with his MMA career, but no. VeeNobu's not going to stop at, one fight. Not going to happen. So, with that said, it's going to be soon. I have got another topic. Actually a question that I want to throw out to you whenever you're ready for this, man.
All right, lay it on me. Lay it on me.
All right, but
not literally. It might be hot. Don't lay it on me.
Hold on one second. We got one more comment until Illuminati confirmed. We're on 665 comments right now. I'm ready for this. Hold on. When's the next comment going to come up? As soon as that comment comes up. Oh, Illuminati confirmed. We have 666 comments. Hashtag Satan in the house. No, I'm joking. All right, so I want you to go ahead. Tell me your 5 favorite MMA fighters of all time, and tell me why they're your favorite.
Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva definitely is the first fighter that pops in my head because he exemplifies, I don't know, mixed martial arts in general. He was actually creating art when he was fighting. Man, this man was moving like something. You'll hear this time and time again. Like he was moving like he was basically Neo from the Matrix. These guys, he was moving like he could just see frames ahead of his opponent. He was loose. He played around, and God, it was just something so appealing to his fighting style that just you tuned in just to see what this man would do inside the octagon. Second fighter I'll list off is BJ Penn. BJ Penn was one of those fighters where it felt like as if he was talking during his fights, even though he wasn't. He was a guy who you knew just by his fighting that he is straight to the point. I'm about to mess you up. You knew when you were standing across from BJ Penn that you are about to, in some way, shape, or form, get hurt. This is about to suck. He was no bull crap. He went in like basically a dog, a controlled, rapid dog. It was like a dog. You take a pit bull, you inject him with rabies, but the pit bull has a clear, intelligent conscience. That's what BJ Penn reminds me of.
Yeah.
An intelligent animal boosted up, full of chemicals, but he had clear thought. Third fight I'll list off, this would definitely have to be Fedor, who we were talking about earlier.
Ooh,
Fedor,
yeah.
Fedor. What the thing I like about Fedor more than his actual fighting ability was the mentality he had, because you can never tell what he was feeling. I'm a person who reads people, extremely well. You know, I know psychology extremely well, and it's one of those things where you look at Fedor and you cannot, you just don't know what the man's feeling. He comes in with this monotone, blank expression. It's like you would think he's waiting in line to get a Big Mac or something. And I guarantee he has the same facial expression when he's at McDonald's.
Oh yeah, because you know he goes to McDonald's all the time.
I can believe it. It's like, gosh, and he'd go in there and wreck shop. Fourth fighter I want to list off, GSP.
Oh
Just
yeah.
because George Ross St. Pierre, because he definitely represents mixed martial arts well as a whole.
Yes, he does.
He's humble. He's a very positive person. He takes it so seriously. He is pretty much the most well-rounded fighter in history. And that is all I'll say about George Ross St. Pierre. I can't say enough good things about him. Ooh,
Hold
number
on.
5.
Before you get to the last one, Bailey said something. She said, "Fight Proxy Games, Mr. VeeNobu." Bailey's always trying to start stuff. She wants people to die. So.
Well, you heard the woman. I mean, we got to fight, man.
I guess so, man. I guess we'll be recording it Thursday. Oh man, but what's gonna happen on Thursday though when I go train? I'm gonna it's gonna be a short video for Twitter. You know, gonna be live and in person with VeeNobu on the mat. So that's gonna be fun. I don't know what we're gonna talk about. But we're gonna think of something. So now, who is your last and final favorite fighter, man?
Number 5. Oh, it's a tough one. Number 5. Man, so many picks. I think this man, you would probably agree with me on this one. I would have to say this might be a little early, but it's John Jones.
Yes. I mean,
John.
I thought you were going to say Conor McGregor, but you didn't. But, hey, it's okay because it's okay because you said John Jones. But yes, John Jones all the way, man.
John Jones is one of those fighters where I don't know. No matter what the bad things he did outside of the octagon, what this man did inside the octagon is just unreal. The guy made beating these black belts, these world-class strikers, look easy. It's like no matter who you put in front of John Jones, he went through them like a hot knife through butter. Even on a bad day, he was able to come back against Alexander Gustafsson in a hard-fought battle, still edge out the victory against Olympic wrestler Daniel Cormier. Or Cormier, however you want to pronounce it.
It's Cormier.
He was able to Cornmeal.
Cornmeal. Daniel Cornmeal and John Jones Part 2.
He was able to take down an Olympic medalist. Olympic medalist wrestler. Now, I'm sorry. Enough said.
Now, okay. We're going to go back to Conor McGregor for a second. Speaking of old Conor McIrish Gregor. McIrish. Oh, where's my other effing belt? Where's the belt? I wanted both of me belts. So.
You do nothing. You do effing nothing.
Yeah, you're nothing. Let's talk about this. I've been talking about this on like the past 2 or 3 podcasts so far. Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather. This is going to be something that's not going to get old at all to me. I love talking about this because it's been amped up for a long time. Very long time. On the last podcast, I talked about the ticket prices. I talked about the pay-per-view prices. What do you think about this so far? Have you heard about the ticket prices and the seating prices and pay-per-view prices so far?
I have not.
Well,
actually.
okay, I'm going to go ahead and inform you that. If you want to sit in the nosebleed seats, the nosebleed seats are the seats all the way up at the top. You're going to pay a little over $2,000. If you want to sit in the front row, you're going to pay a little over $90,000.
Okay.
But it's okay, because if you want to watch it on pay-per-view, it's going to be either $100 or a little over $100.
Well, you got $80,000
Well, I was thinking if you can get $180,000, we can both go watch that fight front row seat.
Bit of a stretch, but
Oh, that's a lot of money, man. But go ahead and tell me what you think about McGregor Mayweather, man. When you first heard about this, what did you think about it?
it's about time. And 49-1.
49-1. I agree with you. I thought he was 48. No, I'm not sure though. But yeah, I think Mayweather's gonna lose because I'm a huge Conor McGregor person. Conor McGregor is amazing. He will always be amazing, and ever since I first saw him fight, I was like, holy crap, who's this kid? And I say he's 27 years old, but he's already a millionaire. And he's going to be so freaking wealthy after this fight. He's going to get well over $100 million.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, after he fights Mayweather. Mayweather came out of retirement just to train to fight Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor changed his training up specifically to fit boxing. Go ahead and tell me what you think about the fight, and tell me what you think is going to happen in the fight.
First off, this is coming from a perspective of a fighter. Floyd Mayweather I consider him the best defensive boxer alive. One of the best boxers of all time. With that said, I still feel Conor will get his hand raised at the end of that night when they fight. August 26th, you heard it here first, 49-1, simply because this is Conor's chance to become legendary. Conor may say, I'm in it for the money, I'm in it for the big check, but Conor has a lot of pride. He actually thinks he's going to go inside that ring against this world-class boxer and get the knockout. And you know what? I believe him.
Oh, yeah.
Simply because Conor, this is his one shot to become an icon for the history books. If he goes in there and he just knocks Floyd's head off, you will never forget the name Conor McGregor again. And you just have no clue how powerful that can drive a person.
Well, I'm telling you, I don't think anyone forgot his name after he did that to Jose Aldo after 13 seconds. Right after he did that, I was like, yeah, this guy is going to be in the books and he's going to be amazing. He was already amazing at that time. He got a shot at Jose Aldo and he did that in 13 seconds. He knocked him out with that left. And then the picture of Jose's face after that was amazing because it was like he was on a roller coaster and the wind was just taking his skin off of his skeleton.
Yeah.
But this fight is going to be... It's going to be amazing. I personally...
Yeah, hands down. Hands down.
I hope it's not a glorified sparring match, kind of like the Pacquiao fight was. What am I saying? Kind of like the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight was a glorified sparring match. I hope it does not last the entire fight. I hope Conor knocks him out. That's just my... I have a favorite here because I'm a Conor McGregor person. I don't care if anyone isn't a Conor McGregor person. To you, I say I don't care. Screw you. All right?
And that's one of those things where it's like, if you think Conor McGregor's going to win, you don't know fighting up. Hold up there. There are so many other factors you have to put into place other than the fact that Floyd Mayweather has been his undefeated. He's, he's this and that. But you just do not know what Floyd is going to do on the night that he fights Conor. I'm sorry, like, no matter what someone has done prior to a fight, you don't know what they're going to do for that fight that is about to come up. You know, you don't know what they're going to do on that night. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how their preparation is going to be.
Yeah, and Connor's a year younger than I am. He's 27 years old, and Floyd is, I think, Floyd's in his 40s, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is insane that Conor, at such a young age, is being able to have this opportunity. This is amazing for him. For him to be able to accomplish this, he got the right foot in the right door. That's just
for sure.
I mean, it's insane. It's because of his abilities. He was able to make it to the UFC because his abilities. When he first got into the UFC, I guarantee you, he was nervous as crap, man.
You call that nerves?
It's like, but the thing about
I still remember that.
Well, it's like when, he was like, the thing about Conor, he could be nervous, but he's gonna push those nerves aside when it's time to go to work. And it's like after he gets, he got so many wins, and he was like, okay, I'm winning, whatever. You started to see it, get to his head. But the thing about Conor, it can get to his head. He's gonna talk crap, and he's gonna make people just be like, oh my god, he's talking crap. I'm gonna knock him out. But guess what's gonna happen? Conor's gonna talk crap, and he's gonna be able to do exactly what he says. They don't call him Mystic Mac for nothing.
Exactly. That's what people they get the misconception that Conor's all talk, but then again he goes out there and he performs, like an absolute wizard, and you realize, oh wait, this guy can actually fight too, alongside the big mouth he has. Which I love the big mouth because it gets some attention. Here's another thing that people need to understand is that no one just likes to see just two guys fighting.
Exactly.
I want to have some type of emotion invested into this guy's personality. I don't just want to just see a fighter. That's why people like my mother even knows who Conor McGregor is, because he puts himself out there. People know how this man is.
Yep.
If I would have mentioned George St. Pierre or even Henan Barrow, people don't even remember Henan Barrow. Even some hardcore MMA fans, quote air quotes hardcore MMA fans, don't even remember Henan Barrow. Just simply because he had one loss against TJ Dillashaw, and it's like, man, if people don't know your character, man, that's sorry, talk more,
Exactly, man.
Do something. You can't just fight in this day and age and expect to get paid. Like, nah.
Yeah, you got to be able to work it. You're going to start out on the bottom until you can actually get your foot in the door. If you don't try to get your foot in the door, you're going to continue to fight no-name companies and stuff like that. But if you fight and you're like, you know what, no more. I'm going to do what I have to do, and you actually try to move forward and get in contact with the people you need to get in contact with, or if you're in a right spot at the right time and let a scout see you, you're going to be good. You're going to be real good. Do you have anything else to say about this Conor Mayweather topic before we go into the next thing, man?
49-1.
You heard it here from VeeNobu on the Proxy podcast. 49-1. 49-1. Also, guys, I will be streaming the Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor fight. I'm not going to be able to, let you watch it, but it's going to be me watching it with my reaction to let you know what's going on. It's going to be another Proxy podcast, but on this one, it's going to be a camera. I might entitle it something different besides the Proxy podcast, because it's not going to be a podcast. I'll think of something. We still have plenty of time until then. So, we've got two more topics to talk about. Here's one right here. Go ahead and tell me what... We're going to go ahead and go to a different type of discussion. Let's hear about what you're waiting for to come out video game-wise. What kind of games are you into, and what are you waiting for to come out for you to play, man?
Alright, so there's one game in specific, and Death Stranding. Have you heard of it?
I saw it, but I haven't played it. I haven't heard any reviews from it or anything like that.
Death Stranding is going to be a Hideo Kojima production ever since he left Konami. he had the negative fallout with Konami, and he has his own production team now, and he's going to be producing this I can't honestly explain the concept of Death Stranding, because it's actually rumored that the people who actually work on the game don't even understand Hideo Kojima's. They don't even understand it themselves, because you know how Hideo Kojima is.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at the Metal Gear Solid games.
Yeah.
If you're not a hardcore player and you're not into that lore, if you didn't read the backstory, the origins, the books, if you don't even know the Internet Shadow Moses, you're gonna be lost. Like,
definitely.
So you can already imagine what kind of game Death Stranding is going to be. And then, plus, we get a naked Norman Reedus. Come on. Come on.
That's always something to look forward to, man.
Literally.
Oh, man. So this game, Death Stranding, you're obviously going to get it on Xbox, right?
Ooh, I don't know. I think it's going to be a PS4 exclusive.
Well, you know what that means? It means you need to throw your Xbox away and get a PS4.
Well, actually, well, here's the interesting thing. My Xbox One actually sits under my PS4.
Good. So you are not only about that crappy Microsoft life. That's fantastic. We were talking about that last podcast, PS4 versus Xbox. I'm telling you, PS4. You need to just stick to PS4. You just let your Xbox collect dust. Now, the next question is, why the hell am I not having you on my friends list on PS4? We need to change that.
That is a very interesting question that I want to bring up with you. Why am I not on your PS4 friends list?
And I'm going to tell you why. It's because I didn't know you had a PS4 until now.
No way.
Yes, way, because I knew you had an Xbox, a crap box, but I didn't know you had a PS4, man. So yeah, after the stream, we're gonna talk about that. I'm gonna add you on here before I go to bed and all that stuff, and we're gonna.
Sweet.
Hey, we can even stream together sometimes, man. That'll be awesome.
Oh, for sure. You best believe that.
Oh yeah, man. Just get you Minecraft, man. Get Minecraft. No.
Oh, yeah, I will say something to your audience right quick.
Okay.
I actually will be starting a new live stream series on YouTube. It will be called VeeNobu Must Die, whereas I take a game and I play through the game's campaign / story mode, and I will attempt to not die throughout the entire playthrough. If I die, that means, that's it. Like, there is no restart the checkpoint. No, that means, that's just done. So, I'm going to be playing a different variety of games. Sometimes I will listen to, like Proxy said, I will listen to public demand. I always listen to the people who watch my content. So stay tuned, and it's going to be pretty interesting, because I'm not, it's just not going to be your average playthrough, and I'm just going to leave that up for your imagination.
Yeah, and VeeNobu has been streaming on Twitch. I've been trying to get him over to the YouTube community, because YouTube is just better than Twitch, I mean, that's just my opinion. Sometimes, YouTube is Nazis about the PG era, but it's okay because YouTube is the boss and we have to listen to the boss. But we're going to try to get him over here so he can stream on YouTube, build a huge audience over here, which is going to be really, really good. And once VeeNobu gets Minecraft, hey, it's going to be awesome. We'll be able to build together and stuff on there, So, the last question. You ready for this, bud?
Oh, lay it on me, brother.
All right, man. I want you to name off the 2 fighters that you would love to see fight out of anybody.
All right. So,
tell me who they are and tell me why.
Can they be dead?
Can they be dead?
Yes, can they be dead? Like, does it have to be living fighters?
They have to be alive.
God, no.
Yeah, they have to be. They have to be living fighters, man.
No.
You guys go subscribe to VeeNobu right now. All right, so yeah, they have to be living fighters.
Okay. that case, I think what an interesting matchup would be is Michael Venom Page and John Jones.
Ooh, Michael Venom Page
Yeah.
and John Jones. I like that. Why did you choose those two?
All right, so I know Michael Page, he fights at middleweight, and John is a light heavy, but I'm pretty sure that Michael Venom Page could easily make light heavy.
But Michael Venom Page was the guy that caved the other guy's skull in, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so are you saying you want John Jones to have a caved-in skull?
I mean, it's a possibility, is it not?
Man, so you really don't like John Jones at all? Okay.
Oh, no.
I'm joking.
You see, I feel like, considering they're two unorthodox strikers, they're both long. Gosh, man, you never know what the other is going to do. They're young. God, like, do I even have to explain why this would be fireworks?
Yeah, you might have to a little bit to the viewers, man.
Okay, so essentially, if you don't know who Michael Venom Page is, you just Google YouTube footage on Michael Venom Page. He is one of the craziest MMA fighters I've seen in a while. He comes from a kung fu background, and he just pretty much his style is hands down, tongue out, cocky. His style is very arrogant, but it works. It's efficient. He dances in the middle of the octagon in front of his opponent, hands down, and his striking is just, once he connects, you would think you blink and that was it, and he moved. He's just like not there anymore. He's very skilled to be what's the word I'm looking for? To be, I don't know, I don't want to say arrogant, but you get where I'm going. Like, when you first see him, it's going to be like, oh, man, this guy's cocky, and he's going to get knocked out eventually doing that. You don't know. You don't know. I mean, it's just his style. He comes from that kind of background. And John Jones, for the people who know, I explained he was in my top 5 favorite fighters. He's essentially probably one of the best fighters I've seen stepping inside the MMA octagon.
And why would you say he's one of the best fighters that ever stepped inside the octagon?
John Jones, for some reason, he has innate ability to adapt to any situation, whether it be he's striking, whether he's grappling, whether he's in a bad position, which that's rare that you can actually get him and keep him in a bad position. He has the will of a champion, and it's so obvious to see why John Jones is at the top of his class, and why he's probably going to stay there for a long time. John Jones, like, for those of you who don't know, John Jones is pretty much essentially what the complete opposite of what you should exemplify if you're a martial artist.
Yeah.
John Jones is very he's very disrespectful, and that can be attributed to the fame that quickly came alongside his successful career, because he's young. He was the youngest light heavy UFC champion. Come on.
Yeah.
You mix young age with that fame, money. Please, come on. But that doesn't take away of the fighter he is, you know?
Exactly. John Jones. I can't wait to see John Jones come back and fight. Whenever it's DC and John Jones Part 2, it's going to be amazing. Are you excited about that, man?
I'm more excited about what's going to happen in the lead up to this fight rather than the actual fight itself. You never know what they expect when these two are in the same room. The last engagement these two guys had, DC threw a water ball at John Jones. That should already tell you how this is going to go down.
And DC was pretty upset last time he was supposed to fight John Jones and found out that Jones was pulled out of the fight because of, I believe, the drug incident.
Was it the drug? Yes, because they thought he was doping where he wasn't actually doping. Huh.
And it's so messed up because John Jones lost out on a lot of money there.
Yeah.
and
he still got suspended.
yeah,
Like, come on now.
he got suspended for doing nothing wrong at all. You know, and that goes back to what you were saying, not long ago about how with the Cole Miller, because Cole he's an awesome guy. He really is. When you get to hang out with Cole, you'll be able to see that. The thing about it, the UFC, they do mistreat people a lot, and just hearing Cole talk about that, and then with the John Jones thing, yeah, it's not right what happened to some of the guys in there. But if you want to make it big and mixed martial arts is all you know, you're going to try to get to the UFC because that's where you're going to make the most money, even though the fighters in the UFC do not make enough money. But in the year 2015 or 16, Conor McGregor made, I forgot how many millions in that 1 year. So it depends.
The fact that you say millions,
yes, millions,
defines itself. Like,
exactly.
The fact that you said millions.
That lets you know if you fight and you win and you become popular, you're gonna get paid. But
the crazy thing about it is
that?
I don't even think UFC is the place to make the most money anymore. I think you can make more money in Bellator now.
Bellator?
Yeah, I honestly feel like that. I honestly feel like they give fighters a much better opportunity to make more money, whereas UFC has become this big corporate WWE style event where characters are the ones who make money, whereas in Bellator, characters and just plain fighters make money, good money.
Yeah, well, you heard it first. If you're into mixed martial arts and you want to make it big, go to Bellator, not UFC. So.
See, now, I will say this: UFC will always, I feel, have the more legit, best in the world competition, like hands down. And that's not to say that Bellator is for weak fighters, unskilled fighters. No, I'm saying UFC will just always seems to have the best of the best. So if you're looking for the best competition you can find for UFC, if you want to make find out good financial compensation for being a fighter, mixed martial artist, then Bellator is where it's at.
Exactly. You heard it first. Again, guys, gals, not going to be sexist here. Don't forget to go into the description, click on that link. It takes you directly to the YouTube channel, VeeNobu. Don't forget to subscribe to him. He's going to be uploading some more videos very, very soon. Going to be some awesome videos. Like I said, he may put some tutorial videos up there. Maybe he'll do some game videos. We got to get him a camera so he can get that crack-a-lackin'. Is there anything you want to say to the Ravers before we end this podcast, VeeNobu?
No, not really. Just thanks for listening in general. Like, thanks for freaking having me on the podcast, brother. And it's been an honor sitting there talking to you guys,
And it's been an honor having you on here. I'm glad you joined, and I knew that it would be good talking to you because you would be able to just talk about good stuff, with MMA and all this other stuff. It's always good. It really is. You're always informative, and just thank you for actually taking the time out to join me on the podcast, man. Seriously, thank you.
Well, that's another thing I'll mention is that I definitely want people to know more of who VeeNobu is as a person, like what my message is, what I'm trying to do. I'm not just trying to be a YouTuber. I'm trying to essentially be something that people can look for as a symbol of motivation to go after what they want in life. Like there's so much I'm going to explain in good detail, like later on down the line, where I upload more content. I talk more. I spread my message more. I'm going to be more vocal. There's just so much coming your way, people. Just stay tuned. I promise I got you. You are my people.
You heard it first.
I got you.
The future motivational YouTuber, VeeNobu, where YouTube is going to be the only thing he's going to do. He's actually going to quit his job, and he's going to be a full-time YouTuber. So
that is actually, he's actually right. Yes, I do feel that working a conventional 9-to-5 job will no longer be an issue within the next 4 years, and I will be doing YouTube full-time. Yes.
That's something to look forward to. It's a goal, that's my goal too. And once if you get Minecraft and other games I have, man, hey, we can start streaming together, and you can get your name more out there more. So it's gonna be epic, man.
Yeah, like I look forward to it.
Yeah, I do too, man. I do too. Ravers, guys, gals, I hope you enjoyed this podcast. As I said, and I'm gonna say it again, subscribe to VeeNobu. Click on his link in my description. Go to his page, subscribe, watch his videos, leave a like, support the guy. Great guy. Alright, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, subscribe. I'll subscribe back to you. Subscribe to anybody that subscribes to me, because that's how I roll, bounce, walk, and slide. You ravers, take care of yourself. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.